Yeah, so far, what we discussed, do you have any questions while practicing? Did you get any issues? Did you practice those things? Did you get chance?
Yeah, roughly we practiced what we discussed so far, but I hope we are expecting we'll start the class from today with the
Okay.
concept wise, right? Like one by one. So that makes more sense. We will practice every day one concept, right? From basics to advanced.
Yeah. So just today, I want to cover overloading and overriding practicals. We not right completed. Just I want to
Yeah.
cover that one. Okay. After that, we can start concept wise. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. I have one small requirement. Okay. I have one small case. The requirement is write a class, write one class, okay, which should represent, which should represent both two players. Okay, just I want to display two players data, two players data. Okay, each and every player should contains his name, his runs, simply. Okay, I want a class. Whenever I try to use or I call a method which is inside the class, okay, I want to display two players data. Effectively, I want to write the code. Okay, if it is only the requirement, so how we can start? I want to represent like two players data. Each and every player has his name and his runs. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
So
Class name.
main class you can leave it. Always main class is available to bootstrap. Okay, to start your application or your Java program. Main class, okay. Main class you can write and main method you can write it. That one no need to discuss. Our business logic you can think. Class
Class name, players,
players.
and then
Okay, done.
yes, sir.
Next.
And we can define the variables name one.
Name equals to one player name Sachin. Okay, next.
Name one equal to
Name 1 equals to Sachin and name 2 equals to such Dhoni, like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of 2, if I said like 200, then the time you want me to create like 200 variables like this.
No.
Is it the recommended one? No, right?
No.
Okay, I want something like effectively write this code.
Then we can
we can add like array list or something like that.
yeah, list of.
Okay, see, I said like two players, right?
Yeah.
So if the two players physically available, then only I can get some information from them or not. I can ask
Yes.
your name and
Yeah.
run. So when one class is physically available, if you write the class like this, it's a thought. Okay, just you put on paper. When that particular class physically available, whenever we created an object, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? So how many objects we needed here in this case?
Two
objects required. So can I create one object like players? Okay, player one. Can I create an object like this? Now, first player is available or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the type of this particular player one variable?
Player
Players.
Okay,
Players.
the players type or not?
Players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, how many are required for you?
Two.
How many are required? Okay, two objects. Okay, are required or not?
Yeah.
Now, this is the first object, right? You have to tell something about your player details, right? So I want to pass my player details, Sachin, and his runs 20,000. In this particular line, is there any place is there to pass some data?
Yeah. Parameters like inside
No,
the
here,
parentheses.
here, this is the place or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes or no? Here, can I pass like a Sachin and his runs is like 20,000? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, you are creating an object for this particular class, right? Okay,
Yeah.
now there has one concept is there. Okay, whenever you create an object for this particular class, in the class there has one method is going to execute. That method terminology which we can say like what? Do you know? Did you heard about this one? Constructor.
Yeah. Heard.
Whenever, yeah, whenever you create an object for that particular class, okay, inside
Okay.
the
Okay.
class, one method is going to execute. Okay, which method is going to execute? For example, if you take Python underscore underscore init underscore underscore is the method is going to execute. That one we can say like a constructor. If you take like a JavaScript, the method name itself constructor. If you take like Java, my class name, okay, we are going to use like a constructor. So here you can write like your constructor name. Okay, how we can write the constructor? Come on, constructor is what? It's a what is the name of the constructor?
Players.
Yeah, the class name, right? The
Yeah.
class name or not. So that you have to write one method. You have to write one method. That method name should be like what? Your class name. Okay. Whenever
Okay.
you create a class, if you require at the time of creating an object, if you want to perform some operations, if you want to perform some operation, in that case, you can write like a constructor. So how we can write the constructor? Okay, just you can write like public. Okay, same. What is the syntax
Players.
for the method?
Uh,
What is the
it's
syntax for
void.
this method? Public void. Okay,
Void.
this time. Okay, you can
Players.
write like a players. After that, after that, if I write like this, yes, 100% syntactically it's valid. But one thing whenever you call this method,
Yeah.
okay, the return value go to where? If I return something like this, okay, this return value go to where? To the caller or not? Who called this particular method, he get the return
Yeah.
value or not? Who called this particular method? See here.
Mm.
Okay, you call it like this, right? If you give this value, how we can hold it? Is there any scope? Is there? If it is like a normal method, I can write, okay, externally player I can call by using an object like this. Whatever it is going to return, I can hold that value like this or not. Is not this kind of method syntax, right? Calling. For example, if you write something like this public int fn, okay, now if I write something like this, return 20, okay, return 20. Now if you come here, instead of this, if I write like this, now tell me, fn returns me what?
And
Okay, Fn returns me what? 20. That 20 value I can hold with one variable or not? Yes or no? Because I called externally one method, whatever the return value is there from that particular method, I can hold it with one variable or not.
yeah.
But this kind of syntax do we have here? Am I call that
No.
particular method externally? No. Whenever you create an object, whenever you
Mm.
created an object, that particular, okay, that particular class name equal method, which one is there, that is called automatically. I didn't call externally or not. If you not call externally, if you not call externally, then the type how I can hold the value, that the reason. Okay, here the return value is required or not required? Here
Yeah.
the return
Required.
value is required or not required? If you return also, how I can hold the value? Is there any
Mm.
possibility? Is there this kind of calling? Are you calling? Are you calling that particular method like this with this syntax? Are you calling this method? No, right? Who
No.
called at the time of creating an object? Okay, my JVM is looking for in that particular class, is there any method whose name is like class name, he called or not? Yes or no?
Yeah.
If you return some value, that return value go to you, na, that return value go to JVM. Who called?
J-
That guy only
JVM.
get the return value, JVM. If
Mm.
the return value go to the JVM, what JVM can do with that return value? Your return value, what he can do? He can't do anything or not. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that the reason whenever it is like a constructor, okay, don't return anything. Okay, so syntactically, just you can remove that particular return type. Understood?
Mm. Uh,
Got
no,
my
actually,
point?
can you no? Can
Yeah,
you
see,
repeat it again?
simple. I have a method is there simply. When I
Yeah.
can get the return value, whenever you call the method or not. See, these two methods we can compare. This one fn, this one players.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I created an object for this particular player class. I call
Mm.
the method or not? Which method I called?
Yeah.
Fn.
FN
So
method.
who
Mm.
call the method, that guy get the return value or not? Caller get the
Yes.
return value. So I am
Yeah.
the caller, I get the return
Mm.
value, I hold this one with one variable like this, I can use this
Mm.
and wherever I want. Okay, na? This
Mm.
is the general.
Mm.
Now
Mm.
if you come to this particular statement, am I call the players like this?
No.
No, right? Players one dot players like this?
No.
No, right? No, right? Who call at the time of creating an object? My okay, you not called means okay, another person executing the program is JVM only. Who call?
Mm.
Okay, another person, Java people called. So if the Java people called, this written value go to where?
Yeah. The Java
Java people,
JVM.
right? Okay, Java people, right? Okay, with your written value, what they can do? Got my point? Okay, just wait. His audio is not connected. Okay, with this written value, okay, this written value, what my JVM can do? He can't do anything or not? Yes or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Okay, that the reason. Okay, if you return the value also, that value go to JVM, he can't do anything. Okay, why? Because it is JVM is not specific to you. Okay, this is like what global, right? If I give the chance to you, you return 10, another person return something, another person return something, I don't know. Okay, how the JVM handle your written value? Got my point. But here, this is my program specific, right? I created a method, I only call it, I only handle that value or not. This is specific to you and your program, but my JVM is not specific to you, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? That the reason, if I give the chance to return the value to the JVM, now you return 10, no, some other person return some value. Okay, it's like okay, very okay, more effort to put handle those values from the JVM. If I handle also with that value, what he can do? Nothing. That the reason, whenever you create an object, okay, the method is going to call, the method name is like a class name. That particular method we can say like a constructor. Okay, the constructor called not by you, okay, by Java people. That the reason, if you return the value, that value go to Java. What they can do? They can't do anything. That the reason, okay, they said like, if you return also, I can't do anything. Okay, then why we need that return? If we can't do anything, then can you restrict here itself only? Okay, that the reason, if you write the constructor, don't write the return value. Okay, that means, okay, don't write the syntactically return type here. That's it. Understood?
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. Now this one we can say like what? Terminology wise.
That's a method.
Terminology wise, this particular method in your class, if you see the class name and method name is like same.
Yeah, constructor.
That is like a constructor or not. Constructor
Okay.
or not.
Okay.
Okay. This constructor have the parameters or not having the parameters? This constructor having the parameters or not having the parameters?
Have the parameters.
Not having, right? If the constructor is not having the parameters, that constructor we can say like a default constructor. We can say like a default constructor. But now see, this is my players now. Okay, now this particular data go to where now? You're calling constructor, right? Okay, this data go to where now?
Constructor.
Constructor, right? Okay, constructor, right? Now, how many parameters data you passed? How many parameters data you passed? One is like,
String.
come on,
Name.
one is like
Yeah. Name and
name. Okay, another one is like what? Another one
runs.
is like runs, or
Runs.
another one is like runs. What is the type of the name?
String.
Okay, it's like a string, you can put it. Okay, another one is like int, you can put it or not. Yes
Yeah.
or no? Now this has constructor has parameters, right? So you can say like a terminology wise, it's like a parameterized constructor. Okay, now in this case, this data go to here or not? Okay, come on, as per my requirement, what he said, okay, we should, okay, write a class, okay, should represent about the two players, his name and runs. So whenever you call, okay, one method, I need his name and his role, okay, his name and runs. So can I create one more method like this? Okay, public void print player details, like this, print player details, like this, you can write it or not? Okay, here I want to print system dot out dot println. Next, okay, system dot out dot println. Here runs, here name. Okay, na? Yeah. Now, if whenever you call this particular method, I want to print, okay, Sachin and 20,000. Whenever you call another time, I want Dhoni and 10,000. That is the requirement. Okay, na? Okay, now come here. This statement is about the first player or not? Yes, no. First player
Yeah.
object. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, now whenever you create an object, the constructor is going to execute it. This constructor there or not there?
Yeah. There.
Default constructor executed or parameterized constructor? By seeing this one. Default constructor or parameterized constructor? Come on.
Parameterized constructor.
Parameterized constructor. So how many parameters you passed?
2.
2. So that if you come here, which one is like, okay, execute here? Which one? One is like default parameterized constructor, another one is like parameter. Okay, default constructor, another one is like parameterized constructor. Can anyone tell me in your whoops which concept it is looks like?
Okay. So method overloading.
Overloading, you're right. Overloading or not? Why? Because
Yeah.
method name is
Both
same,
has the
but
both
signature is
has.
different or not?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes or no? Signature command, you know that one. Number of arguments may be, type of arguments may be, order of arguments may be. Here, number of arguments 0, here 2. So these two
2.
are like what? Method name is same, but number of arguments are different. So can I say like what? Overloading or not? So is Java supports overloading? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
There has some other languages are there which not support overloading. You know that? Okay, Python, it's not support by default overloading. JavaScript, by default, it's not support overloading, but Java, it is going to support the overloading. So whenever the first player is available, he tells like what? Hey, my name is Sachin and my runs 20,000. So these values go to here or not? But
Yeah.
this particular one, I have the name and I have the runs. But you want that name and runs in the player or in the print player's details. Where you want?
Print player details.
Yes or no? Okay, print player details. Okay. So how I can get these members from here to here? That is the question. Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay, now if you observe here, this name and runs, okay, is we can say like local members. Okay, why? Because the parameters of your method, those parameter values are like scope wise, or like use inside this block only, outside the block we can't use. If you use, then the time it gives me error, scope error, you can get it. Okay, now this name and runs I want here. Then how we can share? I have some data in my one method in the class. I want to share the data across all the methods inside the class.
Can we use the main class name inside the main methods multiple times? Like we can give the same name as players.
In the main method?
Yeah, you see inside there are three main methods, right? Public players like that.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actual class name is players, right? The main class. Class players.
Yeah, players, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my question. Can we use inside inside the class there are methods. To that methods we can give the same name.
Yeah, that's what. If you
Oh,
follow
okay.
that pattern, that particular method we can say like a constructor.
Constructor. Oh,
Constructor. Okay, that constructor is going to execute whenever you create an object for that particular class. Okay, so here if you observe two sections, one is like a new operator is there. If you see this one, this is calling only, na? What you are calling? Players. Okay, here players there are not there? Yes.
There. I
There
have
are.
doubts.
With how
Like,
many parameters? Two parameters. So this overloaded method will execute. Yes or no? Here,
yeah,
the thumb rule is like in the class, the method name is equals to class name. That method terminology wise, we can say like a constructor. It is a valid syntax.
yeah. The first one, the public players, like the default constructor. Will we write it, or like the JVM, like it will
No,
automatically come?
if you not write, then the term
Yeah.
default constructor JVM placed, that one is going to execute. Okay, if you not write, that's okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you require, then the time you have to write it.
But in the code, like we will have both of them, or like only one, like
Yeah,
the one which we write.
based on your requirement, based on your
Okay.
requirement. Okay, we can see that syntax. Well
Okay.
executed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Now, our goal is like here I have name and runs. I want that name and runs in this particular place. Then how we can? Okay, so very simple. I want name and runs in my class level, in the method level. Okay, here name and runs are already there, but I want here. Okay, I want in another method. I want in another method. So my
Mm,
requirement something like that. So class
mm.
level, I want those members or not? Yes or no?
Yeah. If we
Okay,
want to like
so
use it in all the methods, it should
yeah,
be in
at
class method.
class level. That the reason. Can we create some variables in the class level so that variables I can use in the class anywhere or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, how we can create my string name I can.
Mm.
The next one is like what?
Enter runs.
Into runs based on my requirement done. Okay,
Okay.
next one. If you want to use this particular class member, this is not a local variable. Now it's like a class variable, right? Yes or no? Okay, whenever it's like a class variable, I can use in the class wherever I want. Yes. No?
Yeah.
Okay, now if I run the class, if I call this particular method like this,
Mm.
player dot, okay, player one dot, what is my method name? Print player details. Print player details. Okay, now what's the answer?
Yeah. Sachin and
that's
20,000.
Sachina?
20,000.
Okay, but see, you created a variable name runs, but that particular variables, am
Yeah.
I
Okay. Okay.
assign the value? No, right?
Yeah. No. 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 You're
Okay,
not
so
passing.
what the default values for my string? It's like null, and my integer, it's like 0 or not.
Yeah.
Okay, but my requirement is not like that. Then what we have to do, whenever you get the values while
Mm.
creating an object, those values I want to set in this particular, okay,
Mm.
variables or not.
Yeah.
So in this particular variables, I want to set it. So how we can set those members, those variables values into my class variables. Okay, how we can set.
We have getters and setters.
Setters and getters, which is you passed like through methods, right? Okay,
Yeah.
setters and getters. Okay, you call set name, you call set runs. That kind of setters and getters not there. In future, we can okay directly DTO. I can assign. Okay, in this case, very simple, right? You have name,
Yeah.
right? Okay, here name, right? How we can access the class members in general? How we can access the class members?
With
Object.
object.
Object, right? So you created an object here or not? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That is inside the class or outside the class?
Outside class.
Outside the
Outside the
class.
class.
Now my question is, whenever you create an object, how that particular object is available by default inside the class? You create an object that is outside. I can use outside. But whenever you create an object, that class object is available or not?
Mm.
Okay, that particular object, how we can represent inside the class?
By calling it.
No,
We have
how
to
calling
define the
not.
object and then
But
call inside.
how we can represent our current class object inside that class? Okay, that means here players, na? This is my current class. How we can represent the current class object? We have one keyword is there. That keyword is like this.
Yeah, you told us.
Okay, I don't know.
This. Okay.
Uh,
This is
I
nothing
have
but this is the
a
current class object. When this is available, whenever you create an object, anyway you create an object, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Outside your name, any name you can give. But inside the class, how we can represent the current class object? By using
using the
this
keyword.
keyword. Yes or no?
Okay.
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 Now that object is available entire
Mm.
class or one specific method?
Method one
Specific
specific.
method.
No. Object. See,
Oh, okay.
current
Object.
class
Yeah.
object, right? Current class object is nothing but class object. Class object is available inside the class for all the methods it's available, right?
Mm.
You can use wherever you want. My this is available here, my this is available here, my this is available here. Why? That is the current class object of the class, not for the specific method, right?
Okay.
Yes or no? So my this is available inside the class. Okay, now if it is available, okay, some space is available for you. Okay, you can keep the data inside that particular location. Somebody can come and get the data from the location if it is like a common area. Yes or no? Come on, this is nothing but object. Object is nothing but some space you can say. Okay, we
Yeah.
can set the data. One person can set it. Okay, if the location is like same, another person can come and get the data. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now who has the data? Can you ask him to set? Okay, who has the data? Players.
The object
Mm.
outside the
This default
object.
constructor, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Default constructor has the data or not? Yes or no?
Parameterized constructor.
Yeah. Parameterized constructor. Sorry, this is the default
Yeah.
one, parameterized
Yeah.
constructor. So
Yeah.
this guy has the data. Can we set it? Okay. Now, if you want to set the data, it's like an object, right? If you want to retrieve the data, like this, you're retrieving. If you want to set the data, you can set it. My this dot name equals to what? Name, and my this dot runs equals to what? Runs. Okay. Here, if you will get confused, n or I'm going to take it. Okay, here it is what? Value. What is my value? N. What is my another value? R. Yes or no? Okay
Yeah.
or not? Class members I can access using an object. Theory satisfied or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Satisfied,
No.
but I have a question here real quick. So you have defined the object outside the class, right? You see the
Yes.
object here, players, player one equal to new players, and you have assigned some values. Sachin is
Yes.
20,000.
Yes.
In the class, within the class, there are two methods. One
Yeah.
is public players, the other
Yeah.
one is public players with the parameters.
Yes.
So outside the class, the object you are assigning the values,
Mm.
it should belong to both the methods, right? Which has player's name.
Yeah, but in Java, overloaded concept is available, right? Okay, based on how many parameters you are calling that method. You call the method with how many parameters?
Two.
Two parameters. Then it is looking for the player only with two parameters. So it is looking for first player. It's like two parameters taking.
No.
No,
Not
so
there.
that method not execute. Okay,
Okay, automatically
and
it will
looking for
assign.
this one. Yes, why? Because Java supports overloading. Exactly. Okay, if you call a method, the matching parameters, that particular method only it's going to execute.
Okay, sure.
Got my point?
Understood. Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, this particular name is available This particular name is available, okay, with this data, and this runs is available with this runs or not. Yes
Yeah.
or no? Now you keep the data inside where this, but this is available entire class or not. In the class, I have what? I have what? Print players, right? So if you want to retrieve the data, can I retrieve like this dot name and this dot runs?
Start. Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
my print player details, whenever you call, now your runs, okay, Sachin and your runs 20,000 is printed or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, now another player, if you want, that is easy only, right? Another player is nothing but another object. Yes or no? So
Yeah.
here my player 2 equals to new player, okay, with what? Dhoni and okay 10,000 for example. Now you want me to call my print player details with which object?
Second object.
Second object or not? Whenever you call the second object, my data is like Dhoni and 10,000 is going to print or not?
Yeah.
You have your point?
Yeah. So I have a question like if both these objects are called like once, like how which one would take?
Both
Like
The
objects.
object names are different, right?
Okay,
So
here the object names are different. It's like a synchronous way it's going to execute, right? The
okay,
execution
okay.
slot.
Okay.
what this concept is called, the whole we discussed now.
Okay, just we can say like a how to use like a parameterized constructor while calling okay your constructor. Okay, how we can pass
Okay.
the data and how we can manage that particular data inside the class.
Okay.
Okay, constructor concept overall.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, why?
basically
Because
we can
okay
create the
here
object outside the class and
here
then just
here we are passing the data to this one. This is all the new one, right, for us. Okay, remaining all are like how to create a class inside the class, how to create a, how to place the variables and how to place the members methods. It's like more normal only, but this concept we added, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so how, which method we can say like a constructor, how we can pass the data to the constructor, how okay that data make it available to your entire class, okay, and then how to use it.
Okay.
Okay, and one more keyword we used, okay, this, okay,
This.
this
Okay.
is nothing but it's a current class object.
Okay.
Okay, when this value is available, whenever you create an object. Okay, if you
Okay.
not create an object, then the constructor itself not executed, right? Without
Mm.
creating an object, we are not calling any methods, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay then. Now here we have how many variables?
2.
Two variables. Okay. Now I want to tell something about variable types. One is like I can say, okay, instance variables. Another one is like I can say like a static variables. Okay, another one I can say like a local variables. Already you covered like two. Already we covered like two. Now let's go with the local variable. I already told you which one we can say like a local variable.
Uh,
Very simple. The scope of the variable which is belongs to one block.
okay.
The scope of the variable which is belongs to one block. Okay, simply give one example with local variables. If anybody asks, okay, take one public, okay, void fn. Okay, that inside this one, if I write like int a equals to 10, can I use that a outside this method?
No.
No, right? No, right? Why? Because inside this block, you created like what? One variable. Whatever variable you created inside the block, that variable scope is like for that particular block only. Outside the block, we can't use. That the reason my scope of the A is like this block only. I can say my A is like what? A
Local.
local to my Fn or not.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I write like int b like this, can I use b outside?
Outside.
Okay, see, A, if we try to print in another method inside the class, think like that. B, I want to print outside, okay, that method inside the class. Simple. Here, see, string
Yeah.
n. Am I take this n directly here?
Yeah.
No, no. Am I take this n directly here? Can I print
No.
system.out.println with n?
Oh,
No,
okay.
right?
No, 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 no,
No,
no, no.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why no? It is also local to this particular player or not. So
Mm,
if you create a variable inside the method,
mm,
that is also local. If the variable, okay, see here, if the variable, if you pass like a parameter here, okay, that is also what, local for that particular method or not. So parameters also local. Inside that method, if you create any variables also local. The local variable scope is always that block. Inside the block only we can use, outside that block we can't use. Okay, this is
oh,
general concept for any programming language.
okay.
Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you also can you also
Now,
just briefly explain like what is instance and static also?
yeah, yeah, I'll tell. Okay. This is the local one. Now come to the instance variable and come to the static variable. Static variable. Now take one simple example. In that example only we can cover these three. Okay. Now simple. Write a class. Okay. Write a student class. Represent student details. His college name, his name, and his roll number. If I said. Okay. How we can write? Click just. Okay. Write a class which represents three students, for example. His college name. Next, his name and his roll number. Okay, let's go. Class student. Come on, first. After
Yeah.
that,
String
three
name.
students required, right? Yes or no? So
Yeah.
my std1 equals to student. One student is available or not? std2
Yeah.
equals to student. Next, std3 equals to student. Three students done.
Mm,
Okay, if you write like this, syntactically you can get the error. Why? Because in Java, anytime if you create a variable, you have to follow the syntax, data type, next, variable name. If you not initialize, default value it's going to initialize, but data type variable name is like a mandatory. So what is the data type?
String. Oh,
Student.
oh,
Student. Okay, student data. std1 data type is what? Student.
yeah, student type. Okay, okay.
Student. Done. Now come to our requirement. How many members? Which data
Three.
you want me to manage?
Yeah, name, age,
Three.
and
Okay. Now string.
name.
Okay. College name.
Mm,
College name. This is one, right? Next
mm,
string is name. Same example only. String or int roll number. Int roll number. Done.
mm.
Okay. Next. Now, first student I'm asking, okay, these three students belongs to one college only, for example. Okay, my
Mm,
college name is like this, my student name is like S1, my roll number is like 1 is set.
mm,
Okay, now I want to print those details, right? I
mm.
want to print those details. How we can print it?
Uh,
Create one method. Create
yeah.
one method. Okay, public void print.
Mm.
This time I don't want to print.
System dot.
Okay, just I want to print system.out.println.
Mm,
Out.println. Okay, here I want to write like my college name. The next one is like name, and next one is like roll number. Done. Now, okay, you tell std1 dot print. If I call, what happens?
Sorry, what? std1 print. It's gonna print the VTS S11.
No. See,
It will print like college name, name, and roll number.
no. You created an object. That's okay, fine.
Yeah.
With that object, you call a method. Yes, this is also executed. Whenever you call a method, call his name. Okay, he passed VTS. Did you, okay, assign this
Yeah.
VTS to this college name anywhere?
No, no,
No,
no,
right?
no, no.
So the default values for string is what? Null,
Null.
integer default value 0. So
0.
null 0 is going to print.
Okay.
Okay, you supplied the value, but that value not assigned to these variables, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes or no? Okay, now
Yes.
what you have to do? Come on, you supplied the values through, and when you supplied the value, whenever you create
Object.
as an
Okay.
object or not. Whenever you create an object, if you pass the data, if you not pass the data, that's okay. Which method is going to execute?
If you want to pass the data or like no?
Yeah, if you know, if you want to pass the data, not pass the data, general statement. Whenever you create an object, which method is going to execute?
Constructor.
Constructor. If you not created a constructor, then which constructor is going to execute? Default
Default
constructor is
cons.
going to execute.
Yeah.
There is no use of that one. But
Yeah.
I want, okay, if you want a constructor, you can write like what? Constructor, you can write it.
Mm.
Write it. Now here, you want a default constructor, parameterized constructor.
Parameterized
Parameterized constructor. Why? You are passing some
some
data, right?
parameters.
While
Yeah.
creating an object. So here I can say like a public student.
Student.
Okay. Here I can say this. Now three values you are passing. So three values you have to hold or not. How you can hold it?
Yeah.
The first value I can hold with one variable.
String.
Okay. One variable. Okay, the second value I want to hold with one more variable. The third value I can hold with one more variable. Okay, now do you think like this names should match with this one?
Yeah. Should.
No, no.
No need.
These are the variables names, right? The variable name can be anything. These are the references. Refer some value. That reference name can be anything, right?
Okay.
See here,
No.
if you observe here, am I use the same name? See, name N I used.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here N is not okay exactly same like name. Why? Because N holds this Sachin. N is Sachin. That N you assign to whom? This name or not?
Okay. Okay. Later we will assign to that same thing.
Name,
Okay.
right? Yes or no? It's not like direct. It's like a parameter. That's it.
Okay. Parameter can be anything
Any name. Okay, it's like a reference, you can say. Refer
for our
some
reference.
value. That reference can variable or method names can be any. But naming convention wise, you are holding what? College name. So can I give the
Yeah.
college name? Naming convention wise. This name can be any. This
Yeah.
name can be any. This name can be any.
Yeah.
Okay, these also any you can put it. No problem. Okay, done.
Mm.
Now this data go to
Yeah. Constructor. Student
parameterized
constructor.
constructor.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Now this data I want. Okay, this data is like local. Everyone, you know, local variables
Mm.
are what? Parameters or the variable which you defined in the block. Those are come under local variables or not. Yes or no?
Mm.
So local variable can I use outside directly?
No.
No. Okay. But you want outside, right? So that I don't want, I'm not able to use this college name, roll number directly outside. So we have the class members, right? Class members I can use in entire class or not. So
Yeah.
can we
Yeah.
assign this value to my class variables?
Yeah.
Yes or
Yeah.
no? Okay. How we can assign class variable if you want
This.
to call? How we can call it? By using
This dot call college name
okay, this dot my college name like this you cannot.
is equal to
Okay,
college.
my college name, right? Okay, same like this you can. Okay, this dot my name equals to name and this dot my roll number equals to roll number or not. Okay,
Yeah.
here this call name is nothing but this one. This call name is a class variable or not.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay,
Yeah.
now you can use, okay, my college name, okay, my college name and my roll number. Okay, done. Okay, now you can get the print value. Now about the second student. Okay, which one? My college name is like same only, and my student name is yes2, and my runs. Okay, roll number is like 2. So std 2 dot print. Yes or no?
Mm.
Okay, the next one, VTS.
NVIDIA's
Okay, the next one is
3.
like S3 and 3. Now you can call like what? STD3 dot print dot not. Run. Yes, all. Now come
Yeah.
here. Now come here. If you observe the supplied values, this value is different from one object to another object, or
Yeah.
okay, but this value is there now. This is
Yeah.
common for all the objects or not.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can see the value of the variable is nothing but different from one object to another object. Can you define those variables as like a instance variables? Instantiation is nothing but what? Terminology, instantiation is nothing but object creation. Instance is
Okay.
nothing but object.
Okay.
Okay, so the value of the variable is different from one object to another object. In this case, one student to another student. That kind of variables can you define like a instance variables?
Mm.
Okay, now vice versa. The value of the variable is like same for all the objects. Then that time, can you define that variable as a static variable? Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay, now among these three, which one you want me to define like a instance? Which one you want me to define like a static?
College name is instance and
No.
name.
College name is a static.
Oh, it's the same for everything.
Yeah, same for everything. Okay, the next
Okay.
one is like, which one is like instance?
Name.
Which are like vary, which are like different
Okay.
different
Name and
from
roll number.
one object to another object. Which one is like different from one object to another object?
Or name and roll number.
Name and roll number or not? Okay, so that one we can make it like what?
Instance variable.
Instance variables or not? Okay, so far you created three variables, right? Those three variables you created like a instance only. Okay, now I want to make this particular one as like what? As a static or not?
Okay. Because it is the same.
Because it's like a same. Now, whatever the variables so far you created at class level, like this, those are like what? By default, instance
Instance.
only. By default, instance variables only. Okay, now you can see in this particular example, you can see like a three types of variables. Now see the first one, okay, instance variable. Okay, which one we can say like instance variables?
Name and roll number.
Name and roll number or not? Static variable. The variable whose, okay, assigned with what? Static keyword. Okay, that particular variable we can say like what?
Yes. Instance variable.
Okay, no,
Static variable.
static
Static.
variable. Okay, the variable scope only for a block. Then that time you can define those variables like what?
Local
Local
variables.
variables or not. Okay,
Yeah.
now you can define and when you can go with this. Very simple. Object to object, one value is like common. If you know that one, you are the developer. As per your requirement, you know that the value of the variable is like common for each and every object or different from one object to another object. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we will.
if it is like common, then the term define that particular method as like a variable is like a static. If it is
Static.
like common, then why I need to pass? If it is like same, then you hard code also.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, then that time, do you want me to pass this one? Do you want me to pass this one? What changes are required? Now think about the changes. Do you want me to pass this one? No,
No
nah.
need.
Already
No
you
need.
hard coded, right? VTS.
Yeah.
This is common, right? Then why I need to pass again? Okay, you are telling like VTS only. If it's different, yes, you can give the chance. If it is common for all, then why I need to give the chance to them?
But how will it know like the two parameters you are passing is like second one and third one? How
Which
will it know?
one?
Here you are
This,
passing only two, right?
yeah,
How
only
co-
two. Yeah,
how will it
here
how
also
will
change is required. Change is required.
okay
College name is required or not required?
not required.
Not required, right? Now, this is like what? Static instance. It's a static. Remove it. Remove it.
Okay.
Now, see here. You call a constructor by passing how many parameters? Two parameters.
Two.
Name, roll number. Okay, my S1. Okay, assigned to this. My one assigned to this one. Now, two static, okay, two instance variables, okay, has the value. Static variable already have the value. Whenever you call, now here also change is required. What you know? By using object, we can call instance members. Okay, instance members here, name, roll number. I can call it by using an object. But college name is like instance, instance member.
No,
No,
static.
right? It is like which kind of member? It is like
Static.
a static member. If it is like a static member, okay, either it is a variable or either it is a method, we can call using class name.
Okay.
Got my point? Okay,
Yeah.
if you are using class name, okay, if you have a class name, by using class name, we can call the instance members or static members.
Static member.
Static members we can call it or not. Now you have some idea, right? Okay, how we can call the static and how we can call the instance. Instance members call using instance. Instance is nothing but object. Static members I can call using
Class name.
right? Using class name. Now, can you explain? I have a class test. Inside the class, I written like public void main string args, right? Public static also, right? Static void main string args. Okay. Now, can you explain me why this is like a static? If not static, okay, what happened? Whenever, okay, when this particular class is going to execute, whenever you compile, and then if you run like this, whenever you run this particular class, okay, JVM is looking for which method? JVM
My
is
main method.
Main method, right? Okay, just Java C. Okay, this one you can say like a test.java, for example. Okay, na? Test.java. Java C, okay, file name dot Java and then Java test. JVM is looking for main method. It's called or not called?
Called.
Called, right? Called. How one class member you can call? How one class member we can call? Either you or JVM, whoever it is. How class member is nothing but how the variables or methods called. Come on.
Dot operator.
Using an object.
Using an object.
Using an object. Another one is like just now we discussed.
Using constructor.
No. Constructor we are assigning the values, calling using class.
Okay.
Using class. Here, see.
Here.
Constructor you assign the values. But how you call this class name? Okay, college name. I mean college name using the class, right?
Okay.
Yes or no? Okay. Now come here. Why this is exactly static void only? Why not normal without static? Means if it is like without static, if it is like without static, how we can call the main method? How my JVM can call? It is like a static method or normal method at this moment?
It's like a normal method.
Normal method. If it is like normal method, how we can call it?
Like
Create
using
an object. Create an object and call using dot operator or not. Yes or no? For example, in your class, there has 100 classes are there in your application. For example, think like that. Multiple classes are there. You have to create an object and you have to call the main method or not. Yes or no? If you want to start. Okay. Now, who has to create and who has to call the main? JVM, right? Yes or no? Every time my JVM has to create the new, class name, new class name, new class name like this. He has to create an objects, right? The bunch of objects he has to create or not.
Okay.
This is extra burden, right? To JVM. Okay. That's the reason, hey, I don't want to create an object. Okay. I am already written the program. Okay. Just with your class name only, I'm going to call the method like this. If you, okay, satisfied this particular requirement, particular statement, this statement already written. Yes or no? Who written? JVM people or not?
JVM.
Class
Yeah,
name and okay, this class name is like vary. Why? Because whenever you run the class name, that class name only is going to take or not.
yeah,
Okay, in this case, the test. Okay, your
yeah.
class name dot main. I already written the code. Okay, I don't want to create an object. I don't want to call the method using an object. If you already written, then the time you should have to make that particular main method as a static or not.
Okay, okay.
Got my point?
It is simply like nothing but like hard coding the method,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. The JVM already written, they hard coded.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you have to follow that guideline or not from your end.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. No, understood.
Yes or no? Why public?
Yeah. Public is it can like access modifier,
Yeah,
it can
this
access everything connects.
particular main method, I want to access not inside the class, outside the class you have to access or not. Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah.
JVM completely out of your class program, right? Your class program is different, your JVM program is different. Okay, that the reason outside the class, if you want to use any method, that method should be public. Okay, public to private to protected we are going to use. Private means in the class only we can use. At the time of access modifiers we can discuss. Okay, protected means inherited also. That means in my children we can use it, but public you can use anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, that the reason it's like a public. The next one, you know this.
Yeah, return type.
If you return also, go to where? Who call? Who is the caller?
JVM.
JVM. If you return the value to the JVM, what my JVM is going to do?
Return null, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, nothing. Okay, with your value, he is not doing anything. That the reason. Okay, what he said. Okay, this don't return anything. Why? Because I'm calling. I'm not expecting anything from you. Then the time, just make it like what?
Void.
Void. Okay, who called the main method? JVM. If you return something, that value go to where? Come on,
Yeah.
caller. Who is the caller of main method?
JVM.
JVM. If your return value go to the JVM, he said like, I don't want, I can't do anything with your value. Then why I need to return? That's the reason they restricted like what?
Okay.
Void. Not written anything. Okay, why exactly main only? Why? Because they hard coded. They called main. That means they are looking for what? Main. If the main method is not there, then throws an exception or not.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of main method, if you want to do something, yes. Okay, then the JVM program you have to change it. Okay, if you write like M1, now onwards you have to follow what? M1.
Okay.
Yes or no? The change is required where? If you want to change the main method, the change is required in the JVM program, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, the next one is like while running your program, if you want to pass some data like this, there is a chance is there. Then that time these values, not only one, if I give the chance, any number of values you can pass it or not. Those values I have to hold, right? Yes or no? While, see, this one called as a command line arguments. This statement is what? What is this statement? I can say run the program, right? Run your .class file or not? Yes, no. Okay. Now, which program you are running? Test class, right? Okay. Whenever you run JVM, what he is going to do? He take your test class. Okay, na? He take your test class and he call which method? Main method. Yes or no? So this method is going to call. Now, my requirement, what you know? If one method I called, I can pass the data or not? Yes or no? Tell me. If I call one method I called, I can pass the data or not?
Yeah.
In this case, main method, okay, I want to pass the data. That is my requirement. Want to pass the data to what? See, requirement, see. Want to pass some data to main method. That is my requirement. If you want to pass the data to Fn, you can call and you can pass. That is easy only. Yes or no? Either by using an object you can call, either using class name you can call. But I want to pass the data to which method?
Main method.
Main method. Main method who called?
JVM.
JVM. If you call, you can pass the data. Yes or no? But this time my requirement, okay, I want to pass the data to the main, but I am not call the main. Okay, but still my requirement is what? Want to pass some data to the main method or not? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Understood my
yeah.
requirement?
Yeah.
Simple. I have one method is there. If you want to pass the data to the method, when I can pass the data to the method? When can pass the data to the method? When? While calling, right? Yes or no? That is one option. When we can pass the data to the method while calling or not? Fn is the method. Fn is the method. If I call, I can pass the data or not?
Yeah.
Call it there or not there? Come on.
Yeah,
Okay.
parameters are there. Yeah, data is
Yeah,
there.
we can call it. That is in your hand. You call means you can pass the data.
Yeah.
But my requirement is not to pass the data Fn. My requirement is pass the data to whom?
Main method.
Main method. You call main method. Huh?
No, JVM will call.
Did you get the chance to call the main method in your life?
No.
No, right? Who called?
JVM.
JVM. Okay. But your requirement is what?
You want to pass
Pass the
data,
data to
but
the main method.
main method.
See, your requirement is pass the data to the main method, but you are not the person to call it.
Yeah.
Then there has a gap is there or not?
Yeah.
If you want to pass, if you are the caller, simple. That is very simple. You can pass like this. But here you want to pass, but you are not the caller. Then that time you can do one thing. Pass the data to the caller. You can ask him, hey, can you pass the data? Can you give the data to that guy? Like that you can say or not. That is only way or not.
Yeah.
Yes or no? So the question is, here you are the person, give the data to the JVM. JVM is going to give the data to whom?
Main method.
Main or not. So that, okay, how I can pass the data to my JVM? That is the question. While executing which program?
Class dot
Which
class.
program? Execution is going to start with this command only, na?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Now, how we can pass the data? That is the question. Now, there is no scope, okay, in this statement where I can pass the data. In this particular statement, where I can pass the data. In this particular statement. Here only, here only. There is no scope, right? I cannot pass before. I cannot pass in the middle. I can pass here only or not. That is only the place or not. Yes, no.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Now, this particular statement, whenever you run, who execute this statement? But JVM will take care or not? Yes or no? Okay, now it is looking for, he pass only class name. He pass what? Come on, he pass some value. He is going to check. If you pass the value, okay, now these are all values, not only, okay, 10, 20, 30 or something. After Java statement, how many values are there with the space separation? Tell me. After Java statement, how many values are there with the space separation? 4 values. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, those 4 values, whenever my JVM call main method, those 4 values they pass to my main method. Whenever they call main method by passing the data, that data you have to hold it or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? That data, in which format he passed? If you pass 10, 20, 30 also, that particular value always like a string only. That the reason, okay, they converted all these values like a string. He passed only string data. That the reason, if it is like a string, I can hold that string data or not with array format. Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay, that the reason. Okay, here only string. If you pass like into what happened? Type mismatching, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Why? My JVM take after Java, how many are there? How many values are there? 4 values. My JVM convert into what? 10, 20, 30, test, something, something, whatever it is. All convert into which type?
String.
String type. He pass 4 values, 4 string values. Like in which format? Array. My main method called string, array string. But here the main method is int string. Mismatch or not?
Hmm.
So where the change is required? One change you have to do in the JVM. Another change you have to do in the main. Which one is easy for us? Which one you can do?
We only have accessible for this, right? So we don't have for
JVM, you're
JVM.
not the person to access that. The reason
Yeah,
you
yeah.
use this one or not.
Mm.
This is
Yeah.
the okay public static void main why we need to use.
Okay.
You got my point?
Yeah. So usually like we won't give this 10, 20, 30 values, right,
No, no,
Jay?
no. If you want to give, you can give it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see. We have the discussion about the command line arguments. That time you can come to it. Okay,
Okay,
but
okay.
my requirement is okay. I want to
Mm.
give or pass my data to the main method. That is my
Mm.
requirement, for example. So how
Mm.
we can pass? You are not the caller, then how we can pass? That is the question.
Okay, got it.
Okay, right? Now you got some idea about the static. When you can go
Yeah,
with the static.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have an idea, bro.
Variable wise, the value is like common for all the objects. Then you can go with the static. Method wise now, method also can be static or not. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to call by using a class name, oh, my requirement like that. I don't want to create an object. I want to call the method by using class name. What is the option? Make that method as a, come on, make that method as a,
Static.
make that method as a static. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Now one more statement. Frequently used statements, just I want to discuss. Now I'm going to write that. You only explain, okay? Simple. Okay. This statement, right? Multiple times you are writing or not.
Yeah.
Okay. In Java, now onwards. If you see anywhere starts with capital letter one member, 99.9% that is a class.
Okay.
Any member, okay, any predefined member starts with capital letter, okay, 99 not 100%, it's like a class.
Mm.
So that our side also, you have to habituate anytime if you write the class, okay, starts with uppercase. Okay, now by seeing this statement, you only tell system is what?
A class.
Yes, 100% class. Okay, now class dot something.
Mm.
Class dot something. Listen carefully. Okay, you can answer. You can easily answer. You are calling out with what?
Class name.
Class name. You are calling one member with the class name means that member should be what?
Variable.
Variable only. Okay, variable only. Which kind of variable? Instance or static?
Static.
Perfect. Static, right?
Static. Yeah, yeah.
Static, right? See, in this particular statement only you can understand, right? You are
Yeah, yeah.
access the member. Okay, access the member. Member is nothing but variable method. We'll see that one later.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
accessing the member using the class name means
Mm.
inside this class, my out is what? It's a
Static. Static
static.
variable.
So that
Mm.
can you write? Okay, how the Java people written the system? Okay, my system is a class.
Mm.
Inside this one,
Static. Static.
public
Public. Static.
static. Okay, public static. For now, I'm going to put like int. Okay, just
Mm.
like out. Yes, no. Come
Yeah.
on. Okay, out is like a variable or method. Next question. I said like member. Okay, now out is a variable or a method.
It's a variable.
Variable, 100%. It's easy, huh? See,
Yeah.
wherever you see the parenthesis call, then only it's a method.
Method. Yeah.
Okay, if you use like this, 100% it is what?
Variable.
Variable only or not. So you created like what? It is a variable or not.
Variable.
Okay, na?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Now println is what? Now onwards you have to think. Println is what?
It's a method.
It's a method. 100% you are right. But you call the method. See, you call the method on system on outer.
On out.
On out. Perfect. Okay. Now, if you call out.println, only this part you can take it. Okay, na? This part you can take. Okay, just take it out. Only this part you can think. If you see this statement like this, what do you think about the out and what do you think about the println?
Out might be an object.
Perfect.
We are calling the particular method to do this, like println
Yes,
method.
you're right. Perfect. 100% correct. Out is an object. You are calling println or not using an object.
Yeah.
Object when it is available. Okay, physically available means object is available which represents what? Come on, which represents what? Come on, you can.
Object. Sorry.
One
Can
class,
you?
right?
Yeah.
Object always represents what? One class or not.
Class.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
For example, A is my class. Okay,
Yeah.
now if I write like this, A out equals to new A.
No, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
out dot println I can write it or not? Yes, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now the println should be what?
Should be a
Inside the
method. A method in
A
class.
method. Perfect. It is a method. My public, okay, a string public,
Println.
okay, public
Void string.
void. If you written something, okay, print
ln.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, now
Yeah.
the same theory can you apply here.
Okay.
Same theory you can apply here. Now see, system is a class. Yes. Okay. Out is a static variable inside the system class. Okay. Now this out you only said. Okay. After out dot println you used means, okay, my println is the method you called by using out object or not. You only said.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Out is an object you said. It is an object of which class?
System class.
No. Out is an object of system class. No. Out
Oh,
is a
okay.
variable of system class.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
out is a variable of system class. Which type of variable?
Static.
Static variable. Now this part only can think. System leave it. System you already done.
Okay.
Out is a, come on, is a object
Is an
of
object
one
of
class.
A class.
A class. In this class, yes, you're right. A
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Okay, in the A class, which method you are calling?
Print method.
Println.
Println.
Now my out is an object, right? Out is an object, right? Out is not a normal variable. Out is an object of which class?
A class.
A class or not? So my out type is what?
Class type.
Perfect. Class type. Now my out type is int type or class type?
Class type.
Class type. What is my class type?
System.
No.
Yeah. Okay. In this. Yeah.
Yes or no? Now
Yeah.
inside the outer, okay, we have out is an object of A class. Inside the A class, println is one method or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? But it is not A class. It's like a, okay, print stream is like one class is there. Okay, this is related to that one. It's like a predefined class. Okay, now you can define system.out.println. Come on, system is a class. Inside the class, out is a static variable. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, now the out is which type? Now come to the out. Out is an object of print stream class. In the print stream class, println is like one method or not? Which returns what? Which returns what? One string value or not?
Yeah.
The reason, okay, my system.out.println gives me what? One string, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, frequently asked question. System.out.println, can you explain? Very simple. System is a class. Inside the class, out is a one static variable. Okay, whose type is like a print stream. In the print stream, my println is like what? One method or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no? And who's written what? Who's written a string value or not?
Yeah.
Got my point?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah. Understood.
Hello?
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah, we are copying.
Okay, this is about system.out.println. So public frequently used this. Okay, any program starts with any program. Public static void when we are going to use system.out.println we are going to use.
Okay.
Okay, okay then. I asked you to create an account in the GitHub. Did you create it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is that. Yeah.
Okay, you can just, I'm going to share the programs, okay, by using this GitHub only. Okay, just you can sign in.
Okay.
Mm, Okay, my two-factor authentication code in my another mobile. Okay, I'll check this one. So these things we are going to cover as part of Git. Okay, so do you have any minimum idea or from scratch you want me to?
We have some idea about Git.
Git, right? Okay. In that case, that's okay. Why? Because I want to share the programs and everything through a repository only. Okay, these things we are going to cover, and Jira also, as well as we can see. Now come here, assignment section.
But like zip commands, just give us a brief like later. But we can I can like clone the repository and stuff like that.
Okay. Can you do this? Create a private repo. I'm going to create that one private repo. Okay. You can clone that repo in your local
Yes, we
machine.
can. Yes.
I'm going to give that particular URL. Okay, just
Yeah.
you can drop your email so that I can give an act that particular permission to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Now next onwards, just I'm going to give some assignments. Right. You can create your own branch every time.
Okay, can
You
you?
know how to create the branch.
Yeah, we know how to create.
Okay, you know, right? Okay.
Yeah, all these things on the screen, I know how to do that.
Okay, these files you can add it and push. Okay, this
Yes.
approach you can follow. We can follow. Okay, to share our programs and everything. Okay, so I'm going to share my code. Okay, whatever the programs are written. At the same time, daily base notes also I'm going to share it. Okay, through repository only. From that repository, just you can clone it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so can you join today evening also? Okay, why? Because 7 that I have on class.
Yeah, we can do that for tomorrow. But how about from next week? We want to have 2 hours.
Yeah, next week onwards, okay, continuously 2 hours we are going to take morning only.
7:30 to 9:30 like this.
Yes. Okay, 68. Okay, well,
Yeah.
my class, another class is there, that is I'm going to complete this week. Okay, so
Yeah.
today evening at what time you will join? My evening, I mean.
7:30 my time. That means 1 second, I'll tell you that. Usually we fix for that time, right?
I think 5 p.m. I guess for me.
I think it's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay, 6 p.m. I will join. Okay, same link you can join. Okay, these programs we'll see, and we are going to start like our actual concepts. Okay, now you got some idea, right? If you see some state, some class and everything, okay, what statements we are going to write, what is variable, what is method. Okay, so that we can proceed with our actual topics. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
So if you have any questions, okay, we can create a group. Okay, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I'll create a WhatsApp group for 3 of us. You
Yeah.
can share your
Yeah, sure.
repo link and then we can clone it and post it.
Yeah. Okay, you can share your number so that I'm going to create a group in our
You want Tony's
training.
number?
Yeah, through our training
Bro.
number is there, so that we can assign some other resource, like if you have any questions like that, mentor.
Yeah, I shared Tony's number to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have my number. You can create a group.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Okay then.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.